Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video. And today we have the card game Let's Kill, a bloody little game of stick figure mayhem and 2 expansions, a pretty corpse Let's Kill and crime scene investigation. All these are brought to you by Sancho Games. These were released in 2010 by Sancho Games. Let's start off with the core set. Second edition, Let's Kill by Aaron Pavillo, a bloody little game of stick figure mayhem. Let's Kill. Have you ever had the urge to start beating some know-it-all who really deserved it, but were held back by those frustrating social boundaries? Ever wanted to go psycho on a bunch of bleached blonde cheerleaders or the pretentious beatnik at the corner coffee shop? Ever dreamed of achieving fame through your horrifying actions? Let's Kill may help relieve that urge. In Let's Play Kill, you play a psychotic killer determined to kill as many people as possible in the most bizarre ways you can think of, using everything from sporks to weed whackers to industrial paper shredders, while gaining as much media coverage as you can. Let's Kill features distinctive stick figure art and gruesome humor and is intended for mature audiences. For more information, go to atlasgames.com/Let's Kill. Let's do that again. www.atlas-games.com/Let's Kill. It's for 3 to 5 players, ages 18 and up. Playtime is about 30 minutes. So let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have on the inside. And you have 2 more decks of cards. And you have the rule book. So let's put this to the side. And let's put that aside. Let's take a look at the rule book. Bloody little game of stick figure. Grab your weed whacker and your spork. In Let's Kill, you take on the role of a maniacal serial killer bent on receiving as much media coverage as possible. Your object. The object of the game is to be the first to get to 20 points, then hold that lead while the other players take one last turn. Points are gained by whacking the victims represented by the victim cards by playing weapon cards on them. You got it set up, you got your gameplay. Victim cards. Location cards. Weapon cards. Surprise cards. Event cards. Shootouts. Shootout play order. End game. The game can end in 3 ways. The Let's Kill deck runs out of cards, the victim's deck runs out of cards, and there are no victims in play, or a player declares that he's reached 20 points. In the first case, the game ends when a turn begins and the Let's Kill deck is depleted. In the second case, the game ends when the last victim leaves play. In either of the first 2 cases, each player adds up the points in his or her incidents, and the player with the highest total score wins. Word from the designer. Credits of all the good people who brought you games. Again, it's brought to you by Atlas Games. For more information, go to www.atlas-games.com. Okay. There is your 1-page front and back rule book. So we have some cards that say victims and victims. So let's see what happens in this game. Again, this is not a how-to video, it's just an unboxing. So let's take a look at deck 1. All the fronts are the same. These are victims. Okay, then you got your Let's Kill cards. I'm going to do that. So let's take a look here. You have more victim cards, so I want to open up both decks so we can make sure we're looking at the same stuff. Here's all your victim cards, and we have your Let's Kill cards again. Okay, so you get your victims and Let's Kill. So I'm going to put these to the side first, and we'll take a look at these cards. Look at these cards. Okay. I want to make sure I have only the Let's Kill, so I'll see all the fronts are the same. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have here. These are all event cards. Oh, looks like event, so it looks like you have different cards. You have events, So let's take a look at that. You have events. You have surprise. You have weapons. More event cards. More surprise cards. And you have more weapons. Okay, so let's get these cards straightened out here. So let's take a look at each one separately. So again, we've got our event cards, a quiet tussle. So each of these are obviously set up. Again, these are all stick figures. We got the title up top. You got your picture up here. Your stick figures here. It tells you what kind of card it is here, and tells you a little, gives you a little saying and what the card's all about. All right. So here we go. This is a quiet tussle. Place the card permanently in front of you. When you whack a single victim in a location, the location remains in play if you don't use a gun or explosive. Okay, an event. Discard this card to discard a sad surprise. When it's revealed, the surprise has no effect. That says Chunky Salsa. Place this card permanently in front of you. It doubles the body count of all explosives that you use. Late night talk show host. You've got front page. Get out of jail free. Discard when you lose a shootout. You don't have to discard any weapons and you win the shootout. You get off on a technicality. Held for questioning. Higher purpose. Just woo it. Modus operandi. Place this card permanently in front of you. Pick a weapon attribute. The body counts of weapons with this attribute count as funness points when they're in your incidents. It says Neener Neener. Network news. News at 5. Not so fast punk. Page 2. Your incident made the local news section of the daily paper. Play this card on one of your incidents and get 3 extra points, but only if that incident is already worth at least 2 points. Political scandal. Some guy with a website. Survey taker. The horrors you have committed. And the Weekly Star Times. This grocery store rag puts you right between the Elvis sightings and the alien infiltration story. Play on one of your incidents and get 2 extra points. So those are your event cards. Then you also have your surprise cards. Again, same thing, set up the same way. Title, your picture, little blurb, and then what the card does. So the victim has faith in the hereafter. So whacking him is no fun at all. You gain no points for this victim. The date, Elvis, ghosts, God, Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. The police put Hamlet on your case. After much hemming and hawing, he guts you with a poisoned sword and makes you drink of your own venom. You lose all of your incidents unless you speak in Shakespearean English for the rest of the game. Local celebrity, meteor strike, ninja. That's what the ninja does. This victim is actually a ninja. He escapes to the discard pile unless you're using a gun. NRA member, pie in the face. Santa Claus. This victim is actually Santa Claus. And since Santa doesn't exist, sorry kids, neither does this victim. Discard this card and the victim. Teddy bear. Trading card games. Undercover cop, your mother. The victim is actually your mother in disguise. If you had an unhappy child, you get another 2 points for this incident. Otherwise, you recognize the tragedy of the situation and discover a new resolve toward mayhem for 2 extra points. So those are surprise cards. So here are event cards. Those are surprise cards. And also we have here another set of cards, which are your weapons. So obviously these are different weapons that you can use. Again, they're all set the same way. It's a gun. It's a Magnum. 44 Magnum. Again, tells you about the weapon. It's worth 2 points. A can of whoop ass. AK-47. Axe. Bazooka. Bread truck. So what this says. Cannot be used to whack victims in locations, but may whack up to 2 victims who are both outside of locations. Chainsaw. Cheese grater. Cool oriental sword. Hand grenade. Home garden chipper shredder. Meat hook. Nail gun, pair of tweezers, pizza cutter, rat poison, and a food service job. Rental truck and 500 pounds of fertilizer. Rottweiler. Goldbergian contraption. Sawed-off shotgun. Scythe. Super rifle bell tower and a box of Oreos. Sniper rifle, sorry. Spear gun. Spork. Spork. It's a fork, it's a spoon, it's a lethal weapon. Well, okay, it's tough to disavow somebody with a spork, but it is possible if you put your back into it. Spud gun. Stiletto heel. Temp job on a construction site. Toaster and a bathtub. Weed whacker and a pound of coke. Your bare hands. So there you go. Those are different weapons they can use. Now we have our victim cards. Where did it take place? At a cafe. Pretentious victims must be played on this location when in play. Convenience store. Dark alley. Ice cream truck. Movie theater. That's locations. See if we have any more locations here. Here's some more locations. So for these cards, again, I just opened the package and you just saw me do it, so they weren't set up. Didn't realize there were different things. Okay, so you got the movie theater. You also have the post office. Right here, seedy motel, the taco restaurant, and your basement. So those are locations that you do the crime in. And then you have your actual victims. Aaron, the game designer, worth 2 points. Andrew, the phone surveyor, and the mail carrier. Billy, the third grader. Brian, the systems administrator. Buffy, the sorority sister. Butch, the fraternity brother. Candy, the $5 whore. Clarence, the door-to-door salesman. Claude, the mime. Cutie Pie, Jailbait, the teeny bopper. Doris, the religious solicitor. Eileen, the goth chick. Fifi, the French maid. Frederick, the alderman. Gramps, the gassy old guy. Heather, the cheerleader. Jane, the scientist. Jenny, the cute co-ed. Jimmy, the kindergarten fugitive. Joe, the web cartoonist. Cara, the coffee shop girl. Carl, the psychiatrist. Kenneth, the TV zombie. Local TV personality. Maria, the lawyer. Mr. Carlson, the high school teacher. Sally, the know-it-all brat. Sarah, the scout. Tasha, the McDougal's employee. The governor. President of the United States. Let's see what this says here. If you try to whack this victim, the Secret Service starts a shootout. If you win, you may then whack this victim. A media event card played on an instant with this card is worth double its extra point values. Timo the Clown. Timo the Clown, Timo the Clown. Everybody's talking about Timo the Clown. The real question is whether Timo is a happy clown or a sad clown. Worth 1 point. Place picture here, your boss. Take your boss and tell him you want to show him something in the copy machine. Then slam his face repeatedly into the glass while setting the machine to make 30 copies. Then leave his limp body in the copy room. Pick the best copy to paste on this board and get fired for using the copier for personal use. So the game definitely has a lot of tongue-in-cheek to it. So there you go. You got your victims cards. Your location cards. So let's read a couple of those real quick. It says location, your basement. Only one victim can be here at a time. Only the one who played this card can whack victims here, and they can't be removed any other way. This location stays in play after a whacking there. So these are different locations that they have. So again, you have an event card, you have a surprise card, you have a weapon card, you have victim cards, and then you have your location cards. So that is everything that's in the core box set game. Then you have A Pretty Corpse, Let's Kill. Live fast, die young, make a pretty corpse. Sporks and weed whackers just not enough to stake your to slack your bloodlust anymore. Looking for a little more madness in your mayhem? Just mix the 55 cards from A Pretty Corpse into your Let's Kill deck. You need more distinctive stick figure art and gruesome humor to your next game. Because the great thing about Dead Bodies is that you can make your own. Again, this one was an expansion. You need the core box set, which is right here. So let's open this up. And this expansion cost $12.95. The core box set game was $21.95. So, pretty corpse. Let's see what's inside this expansion. More weapons, more locations, and more madness, as they say. So here we are. So we've got more events. Surprises. More weapons. More locations. And more victims. So again, going through this rather quickly. So I'm going to put this down here so we don't get the cards mixed up. So there we go. So this is your core box set over here. And then we have over here, move these over just a little bit. These are your expansions. So in this expansion, you get some more locations. You get City Park, Grandmother's House, Trunk of a Stolen Car, your apartment, Governor's offices. Those are your locations. So I'll move this over just a little bit. Okay. You also get some weapons. 33 Hours of C-SPAN, Colt 38, Desert Eagle, Gary Coleman, Holdout Pistol. See what it says for Gary Coleman. What you talking about, creepy homicidal maniac? Luckily, this actor also ran for public office, so we get to put him in the deck. It's a weapon. A holdout pistol, M60, Mac 10, Plague Rats, Police Special, Sledgehammer, Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum, Temp Job at a Suicide Hotline, Tommy Gun, Uzi submachine gun, and a zip gun. So those are all your new weapons that you can use in this from this expansion. You have some surprises. You have Eris, Greek goddess of chaos, eyewitness, fanatical terrorist, hot-tempered, self-defense classes. This one's really nuts. And a zombie. It says, after you whack this victim, he or she rises as a soulless corpse following only base instincts, just like in life. Instead of playing a card on your turn, you may use this victim as a brutal weapon, with body count equaling its funness points. So that's your surprises. Then you also have events, a busy night, aneurysm, anonymous tip, election tampering. So let's see what this one says. By skillful manipulation of built-in exploits, you have been elected to high office. Place this card permanently in front of you. You are now immune to shootouts. Memory lapse, pundit, Second Amendment rights, the last bullet, yoink, your blog. Even a serial killer has a First Amendment right in the U.S. This card is worth 1 point for each other incident you have. And cute pet. This victim has a cute pet for you to whack. The public eats this stuff up. Double the value of any media card you play on this incident. And last but not least, you have your victims. You have Daniel, the TV evangelist, Eddie, your state representative, Emily, the psycholinguist, Eric, the network ops Nazi, Eva, the software engineer, Intigar, the barbarian, Jean Paul, the beatnik, Jeff, the interior artist, Mary Jane, the wayward 20-something, Michael, the technology news site editor, Michelle, the sadistic game editor, Ross, the conservative talk show host, Samuel, the spammer, Stephen, the black teller, Stephen, the bank teller, Susan, the deputy sheriff, Vivian, the local journalist, and of course, fill in this card with the name of a picture of a friend, relative, or even yourself. Don't forget to write down last words and attributes. You get 2 points for that one. So that's everything that's found in Pretty Corpse. Now, if that was not enough, We have the third expansion, Crime Scene Investigation. Crime scenes. The great thing about crime scenes is that you can make your own. Looking for more homicidal mayhem, or maybe just some ideas for your crime drama script? Just mix in the 55 cards from Crime Scene Investigation into your Let's Kill deck to add more doomed victims than you can shake a stick figure at. Plus new law enforcement icons and psychosis card. After all, lunch breaks are good, but psychotic breaks are even better. Again, for more information about any of these expansions or the core game, you can go to www.atlasgames.com/Let's Kill. And this expansion again was $12.95. And again, more and more cards. So let's see what we got here. We have our event cards. We have surprise cards. Weapon cards. You have your psychosis cards, which is new to this deck and adds new ideas to the game. You also have more location cards. You also have your victim cards. So let's take a look at our new locations that we have. So you have someone else's crime scene. You have the karaoke bar, nuclear missile silo, storm cellar, upscale club. Right-wing victims must be played here. There's your location cards. I'll put that right there next to this box. We have our new cards, which are called psychosis cards. Schizophrenia. Instead of playing a card from your hand, on your turn, draw the top card from the Let's Kill deck and play it. Psychotherapy. Add 1 to the body count of any weapon that is brutal, messy, or sharp and pointy. Codependency. On your turn, any card you play is treated as though the player to your left was playing it on his or her own turn. Paranoia. After you play a card and resolve it, have the player to your left choose a card at random from your hand. You then play that card immediately. Cannibalism. When you collect an instant, you may discard it and draw a number of Let's Kill cards equal to its point value. You may have more than 5 cards in your hand at the end of your turn. Just don't draw any if you do. You also have more weapon cards, launch codes, C4, a surgical suite, and a puppy, flamethrower, grenade launcher, temp job as a surgery scheduler, gun with a silencer, microwave, cocktail party, and a bottle of Lysol. So on it, every card tells you brutal, messy, annihilating, explosive, messy, gun. It tells you right on the card. Bumper spikes and lots of horsepower, brutal and messy. And estragus, tiger, and bucket of pheromone, messy and sharp and pointy. Mystical ritual, sharp and pointy. Candlestick, an air compressor, PVC, and frozen chickens. Blunderbuss, clock radio is brutal. So there you go, more of those. You also get more surprise cards. Good twin, frame job, temp job with a security contractor, psychic detective, superhero, dissociative identity disorder, coincidental diversion. It says, luckily everyone is distracted at the critical moment. Ignore any law enforcement icons when whacking this victim. Trapped in a musical. This victim is in a musical and has sucked you into it. You're trapped there. Discard your incidents unless you spend the rest of the game singing everything you say. Okay. And you have additional events that take place. An alien attack. Flying saucers strike the planet. Roll a die and choose that many victims in play to discard. After their vaporization, the aliens fly off to the discard pile. Sheer charisma. Plot twist. Quirky investigator. Hard-boiled detective. Vigilante cop. Play this card on another player. While this card is in front of you, you may not play guns. Intrepid bunch of kids. Zombie C. Auguste Dupin. Sucks to be you. Time traveling robot. Let's see what this one says. Play this card when an effect from a card would target you. Target the player of your choice instead. Don't forget to point at the player to tell him or her sucks to be you. And last event, time traveling robot. You help a friendly robot find a circuit board for its time pod, and it offers to take you back in time. Play this card to negate a card being played, or it goes back in its player's hand, forcing a different card to be played if possible, or the choice of a target, forcing a different choice if possible, to force a die roll or to make it your turn after this one. So those are more event cards. And last but not least, you have victim cards. Belinda, the investigative reporter. She's a media person. Samantha, the photographer. Linda, the medieval recreationist. Z, the aspiring novelist. Phil, the therapist. Fritz, the internet troll. George, the CEO. Augusta, the proctologist. Jess, the forensic investigator. That crazy guy who never bathes. Adam, the media designer. And last but not least, again, fill in this card with the name of a picture of a friend, relative, or even yourself. Don't forget to write down attributes and last words. And those are your victims. So this is everything that's included. And this concludes our unboxing of the card game Let's Kill 2nd Edition. A bloody little game of stick figure mayhem. And also 2 expansions. Pretty Corpse and Crime Scene Investigation. All games were created by Aaron Paveo. It's a little bloody game of stick figure mayhem, brought to you by Sancho Games. And of course, for more information, go to www.atlas-games.com/Let's Kill for more information and how to play the game. This game is for 3 to 5 players, ages 18 and up, and play time is 30 minutes. As always, thank you so much for joining us for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, you could always give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. You can also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well. Enjoy the remainder of your game. Enjoy the remainder of your day. And we'll see you on the next unboxing video.